When my uncle sent me the video, it felt like my world flipped upside down. In the video, my parents and my brother, Thomas, were sitting around the kitchen table in our old house in Phoenix, talking about me like I was nothing. The warm Arizona sunlight made the moment feel even more cruel. Lindsay only helps because she owes us, my mom said with a bitter tone. After everything we've done for her, the least she can do is pay the mortgage. Thomas smirked. Yeah, and she acts like she's doing us some huge favor. What a joke. The worst part, my dad just nodded along, the same man who once taught me to ride a bike and helped me with my math homework. The video was a little shaky, but their words were clear. I watched it 3 times, each time feeling less hurt and more sure of what I had to do. For the past 4 years, I had been secretly paying most of their mortgage through my company, Divine Investments. They thought they were paying a bank, never realizing I was the one keeping them in their home. Every month, they paid a small amount, while I covered the rest, over $200,000 in total. And yet, they sat there, calling my help minimal. Then, my uncle Jason sent me a message. You needed to see this, Lindsay. I couldn't stay quiet anymore. They'd been talking like this for months. I sat in my home office, staring at the numbers in front of me. They didn't lie. My hands were steady as I pulled up the mortgage contract, the one my financial advisor, Kate, had helped me set up. I remembered her advice, let's add a purchase option, just in case. Maybe she had seen this coming. The next payment was due in 2 weeks. For the first time, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I texted my uncle back. Thanks for showing me the truth. Don't worry, I won't tell them you sent this, but things are about to change. For years, I had been their safety net. 4 years ago, when the housing market crashed and they were close to losing their home, I had stepped in. I was 27, successful in my tech career, a career they never supported. They wanted me to take over my dad's struggling real estate business instead. Software isn't a real career for a woman, my mom used to say. Thomas is the one with real business sense. Yet, Thomas had nearly run the business into the ground. When they needed help, I had asked Kate for advice. Start an LLC, buy the house through it, and let them think they're paying a bank, she suggested. That way, you protect yourself while helping them. It seemed like a perfect solution. They got to keep their pride, and I kept them from losing the house. Only my uncle Jason knew the truth. You're too good to them, Lindsay, he had said. They don't deserve your kindness. I had defended them back then. They're my family, they don't understand my choices, but they've always been there for me. Now, after watching that video for the 4th time, I realized how wrong I was. Their words echoed in my mind. She owes us. What a joke. The least she can do. I pulled up the LLC's account. The mortgage payment was due in 2 weeks. They had never missed a payment before, because I always made sure they didn't. But this time, I wouldn't be covering the difference. Let them deal with the bank themselves. They had no idea their daughter, the burden, was actually their landlord. I smiled. Sometimes, karma just needs a little push. The next day, my uncle sent me more proof, a group chat I had been left out of, called Family Finances. Each message was another stab in the back. Lindsay thinks she's so special with her tech job, Thomas had written. She barely helps with the mortgage while I'm here every day running Dad's business. My mom's reply made my blood run cold. We should ask her for more money. She's single, no kids, what else is she spending it on? After everything we sacrificed to raise her, she should be supporting us properly. I checked my financial records, my hands shaking slightly. In 4 years, I had paid $267,843 toward their mortgage. They had only paid $52,500. I had been covering an extra $5,400 every month, money they never even realized they were receiving. Then, my phone buzzed. A message from my mom. Sweetie, could you come to dinner this Sunday? We need to talk about something important. I knew exactly what they wanted. More money, more guilt-tripping. I called Kate. What are my options with the purchase agreement? Kate sighed. I had a feeling you'd ask. If they miss a payment, Divine Investments can take full ownership of the house immediately. They become month-to-month tenants. A plan started forming in my mind. And if they don't pay rent? Then Arizona's eviction laws apply. You'd be within your rights to remove them. She paused. Lindsay, Are you sure you want to do this? I thought about all the years of manipulation, the constant criticism of my career, the way they had used me, all while mocking me behind my back. Yes, I said firmly, I'm sure, but I won't tell them anything yet, let them think everything's normal. I texted my mom back. Of course, I'll come to dinner, looking forward to it. The heart emoji felt like a joke. But they had taught me well. Sometimes, the best revenge is patience. In 13 days, for the first time ever, I wouldn't be there to catch them when they fell. Last month, when I visited, I used their Wi-Fi without thinking. My cloud storage automatically synced, and they snooped through my files. That's how they found out about Divine Investments. I looked it up. My dad said, it's a real company, and she's been hiding money there instead of helping us. My mom's voice was sharp. I raised a snake. We'll give her one last chance to help. If she refuses, I'll remind her about that money she took from your business account in college. She thought we didn't know, but we have proof. That should make her cooperate. I almost laughed. That money? I had borrowed it, with my dad's permission, because their check for my tuition had bounced. I even paid it back with interest. I had the emails to prove it. Their blackmail attempt was both pathetic and desperate. Thomas added, and if that doesn't work, we could contact her HR, maybe hint that she's been stealing company resources or that she's unstable. That would get their attention. Hearing them casually discuss ruining my career sent a chill through me. These people weren't my family, they were parasites pretending to be. I quietly returned to the dining room, pretending nothing had happened. They followed a few minutes later, all smiling like everything was fine. Lindsay, dear, my mom said sweetly, have you thought more about helping with the mortgage? I met her gaze. Yes, actually, you're right, families should help each other. I'll have an answer for you in 8 days. 8 days wasn't random, that was when their mortgage payment was due, and when they missed it, they'd finally learn who really owned their house. Thomas frowned. Why so specific? I grabbed my purse. Just need to check with my financial advisor. You understand, right? Being careful with money is just good business sense. I smiled at him, throwing their own words back at them. My mom walked me to the door and hugged me like she wasn't just plotting against me moments ago. We knew you'd understand, sweetheart. Family always comes first. Yes, I said, thinking of the eviction notice I'd already prepared. Family always gets exactly what they deserve. Over the next week, my family kept pushing. Every day, they sent texts about their urgent financial needs. I forwarded everything to my financial advisor, Kate, who was helping me finalize the next steps. Everything is ready, she confirmed 3 days before their payment was due. If they miss it, Divine Investments can take full ownership. I've also drafted the eviction notice, just in case. Are you sure they can't fight this? I asked. They signed the agreement 4 years ago, Kate said. Your dad barely skimmed it, he just wanted the bailout. It's airtight. That evening, Thomas sent a text. Hey sis, I heard layoffs are happening in tech. Must be scary. Good thing you have family to rely on. Speaking of which, about that help we discussed. The manipulation was so obvious it was almost funny. I showed the message to my uncle Jason over coffee the next day. They never change, he sighed. Your aunt and I saw them do this to everyone. That's why we cut them off years ago. Are you ready for what comes next? He asked. I thought about the threats, the years of being used, the way they talked about me behind my back. I'm ready, I said. They made their choice. Now they'll face the consequences. 2 days before the deadline, my mom called. Lindsay, sweetheart, we need your answer about the mortgage. Family sticks together. Don't worry, Mom, I said calmly. Everything will be clear very soon. That night, their bank sent an email. They'd tried to make the payment, but their account was overdrawn. It bounced. I forwarded it to Kate. Here we go, she replied. Want me to start the process tomorrow? No, I typed back. Let them wait. Let them think everything's fine. They had taught me well. Timing is everything. The deadline passed. At 9 a.m. Divine Investments system sent the default notice. I watched my phone, counting down. It took 12 minutes. Lindsay, my mom's voice was panicked. Something's wrong. The bank says we defaulted, but that's impossible. We need your help right now. Actually, I said, Divine Investments isn't a bank. It's an LLC. My LLC. Silence. What? She finally whispered. Check your email. There's a notice explaining that, since you missed your payment, Divine Investments now owns the house. You're now month-to-month tenants. This is a joke, she stammered. No joke. I've been covering most of your mortgage for 4 years while you mocked me, called me a burden, and plotted against me. My dad jumped in. You ungrateful. Careful, I interrupted. Is that how you talk to your landlord? The eviction notice is ready. Don't make me serve it early. I ended the call and blocked their numbers. Soon after, messages poured in from distant relatives, begging me to forgive them. I deleted them all. Some debts can't be paid with forgiveness. 3 months later, I stood in the empty house. My footsteps echoed in the silence. My family had fought hard, but the contract was ironclad. They had moved into a small apartment across town, defeated. It was over. I smiled. They always said family comes first. They just never specified which family. I chose myself, and for the first time in years, that felt exactly right.